Welcome to this instructional video on installing the Arnott coil spring conversion kit on various GM SUVs, GMT K2YG or C, with short wheelbase. We'll guide you through the process to ensure a smooth and safe installation experience. Before starting, ensure you have the necessary safety measures in place, which can be found in the vehicle owner's manual. Lift and immobilize the vehicle properly and isolate any stored energy to prevent injuries or damage. The product shown in the installation steps in this video may look different than the part you're installing. The installation steps are the same, and all notices and warnings should be adhered to in the same manner. Start the process by lifting the vehicle and removing the applicable front wheel. Then unroot and disconnect the electrical connection. Remove the 3 top mount nuts and the 2 bottom mount bolts. You can now remove the shock assembly from the vehicle to complete the removal process. Install the assembled shock onto the vehicle. Make sure to tighten all nuts and bolts according to the vehicle manufacturer's instructions during the installation process. Reinstall the 2 bottom mount bolts and reinstall the 3 top mount nuts. To finalize the installation, reroute and connect the electrical connection and reinstall the applicable front wheel. Now it's time to start the rear air shock and coil spring removal. Remove the rear wheels and locate and remove the airlines to deflate the air shocks. Turn the metal clip approximately 90 degrees to remove the airline fitting from the air shock. Locate and remove the electrical connectors from the top of the air shocks. Loosen and remove the upper and lower shock mounting nuts. Support the axle to relieve pressure from the air shock's mounting points. Remove the upper and lower air shock mounting bolts. Remove the air shocks from the vehicle. Remove the bolts and ride height sensors from the upper control arms. Now, remove the bolt and bracket holding the brake line to the rear differential. Remove the nuts on the upper sway bar end links. Using a jack or other suitable device, support the axle to release pressure from the sway bar end links. Remove the sway bar end link bolts. Slowly lower the axle and remove the coil springs. This completes the removal. Now, to install the rear coil springs, place the rubber isolator onto the axle and install the coil spring into the vehicle. Be sure to keep the isolator properly aligned with the coil strut. Tighten all nuts and bolts to the vehicle manufacturer's specifications during the installation process. Secure the airlines and electrical connectors in suitable locations, as they are not used for this kit. Using a jack or other suitable device, raise the axle until the sway bar end link is realigned with the bolt holes. Reinstall the sway bar end link bolts. Install the shock into the vehicle. Now install the upper and lower shock mounting hardware. Reinstall the brake line bracket and ride height sensors. Then reinstall the wheel and lower the vehicle to complete the installation. Now it's time to install the EBM. Locate BCM beneath the driver's side of the dash behind the OBD connector. Using the wiring diagram, match the wires and splice them together with the T-tap connectors. Once all the wires have been connected, you will need to secure the EBM under the dash and away from any source of heat and/or any moving parts to complete the EBM installation. For the final steps, remove the cover from the fuse box in the engine compartment and remove the 30-amp fuse in location number 24, labeled as RTD. Reinstall the fuse box cover to complete the installation. Thank you for following our guide on installing Arnott's coil spring conversion kit. Proper installation ensures the longevity and performance of your vehicle's suspension system. Stay safe and happy repairing.